Hello everyone, I'm Jakub and I am designer of this board game, and I want today introduce to you something like author's gameplay. This gameplay will be is going to follow first game of Scharz. This is this introduction game, which is included in each box. So, what is this game about? So, as you see, it has three parts. Today, I want to show you part 1, and part 2 is also in sale, and part 3 is still in development. So you can buy this game and play it, but it's then only for 4 players. But when you later buy also the second part, you can combine these two and you play up 8 player, and by part 3 up to 12 player. So what is this game about? Yeah, this is here. So it is strategy game, something like old classic computer RTS. It's combination of war game and Euro game. So let's say something like Game of Thrones and Agricola and real geographic and history. It's skirmish, so it doesn't matter how many players will play. It's always fun. It's no ideal number of players. It is also a strategic playground or sandbox. You can also make some house rules and use it with different time period and so on. Main, not mechanics, but main stuff is construction, economy, trade, supply, diplomacy, war, and maneuver, as you can see today. It's game about balance, so you have to prepare something, you have to react to someone, you have to supply someone other, and so on. It has multi-objective goals, no cards, so all information are open, no waiting, you are playing simultaneously, and it includes it includes something like 450 wooden pieces. Some are pretty unique. This game is for 2 and 4 as box, and together 2 to 12. Each box includes 2 maps and 3 modes. It's up to 10 years, and game time is something like 20 to 40 minutes for one player. So it's pretty different which mode, which friends do you play it with. So you can expect something like 1 to 3 hours. Here is nothing special. So this is part 2. This is part 1. So part 1 includes map of Britannia and map of Italy. And first game. So first game, there is introduction game. It's named Your First Game of Scharz. So it's these 4 pages manual, and yeah, you also have in box player cards. We use only 1 today. You have also game rules, something like 20 pages, but not all are rules. You have some notes and you have some score sheets. So we use today only these two two sheets. So I have make some preparation. So setup of this game is pretty quick and simple. You just take your map, place it, take the player boards, overview board. You have something like five these packages, plastic packages for each player, and then for dice. So you just take your color, make this preparation, you select the start components, and you are ready. So okay, I will follow this this sheet, and we will see if it is needed to explain something more. So game setup, 4 players, basic mode. Prepare a map of Britannia. This is this. 4 player boards. These are these. All 5 bags of game components and overview board. This is here. And 4 player fold outs. I just take one. All player roll dice 1. So this is dice 1, this white one. Here is dice 2, dice 3, and dice 4. Each player roll these dice, and a player with most of sword is beginner or the starting player for this game setup only. So in our game is black the winner, and we play then in this direction. So now all players prepare their starting components: 3 villages, 1 dog for later, 2 herds of sheep, 1 herd of pig, 2 grain tokens, 5 cohort of light infantry, and 1 cohort of transport ship. So as you see here in this player 8 card, it's also 4 pages, and on the first page you can find all important information you need to know before the game. So what's your game setup components, what mean each component, what is this player card about, and so on. Here is some quick overview of game phase, and so on and so on. So now here is this game setup 2, so you can follow it here. So I just can explain what is what. So each player has 5 type of game components, and this is this is this wooden cube with 3 chamfered edges. So it's pretty unique component, because it's pretty hard for most of manufacturing to produce something what is 3D and it's wooden component. This is cohort. It means it's 500 men, and this symbol are something like universal, not a universal symbol from historic games, but it's something like simple symbols. So this point, it means it's light infantry. This line, it means it's transport ship, and so on. This edge is also important, but something about later. Here are buildings. So this is a dock, and on this side is a village. And when you combine it with more this plate, then is this city or something else. This these symbols on the sides has also some meaning, and so this block, it's for hertz. It's something like I don't know, 3,000 or something like 1,000 of sheep, pigs, kettles, or horse. And these one are special units. This yellow one is grain component, grain token, and this red one is fish token. So everyone sets 5 money on the player board, grain token. So each player take one of grain token and place it on 5 on the player board. So I make it. And then everyone sets 0 point on victory point scale on the map, tiles token. So you take one tiles or plate and put it here. So we are now ready. Something about overview board. This is these. We have I have in this game 3 overview board because I have 3 modes. This is a basic mode or something like starting mode. So this mode has only 4 rounds in 1 year, and I read something about it. In basic mode, the year has only 4 rounds: spring, summer, autumn, and winter. Each round is divided into phases, special and regular. Special occur only once a year. Yeah, the special are the color one. Either at the beginning or end of a round. A regular one, on the other hand, are present in every round, and it's repeated. So when you follow one game round, you can find how is this game playing in another round too. So as you see, move, and so on. These are move, combat, and rear phase. Exactly. So you have a move phase, something like maneuver, combat, something like war, so you can roll the dice and so on. And rear, this is this economic part. And special phase are also this economic and special phases. So these the regular phases are each divided into 3 subphases. We will see that later. Actually, you don't play this regular phase, you only play this subphase. So you play move cohort, move special, move retreat, not move as whole phase. For now, it's important to preface that all players always play simultaneously, only within the current phase. The capacity of the option is limited. So when you play move phase, you cannot trade with someone or so on. Here are some notes. If you are already an experienced player, it's definitely worth picking up the rules and using the index to keep track of additional information in your spare time. So this was our overview board. Now something about game components and game terms. First, look at the map. So with 4 players, they are black, red, and white lines. These define the land game field in the game. So when you see here, this player 8, here are definition how the sequence of subphase within the round, and here are the borders and game field. So when we now play in 4 players, in game are only black, red, and white lines, so borders. And black one is independent, so you cannot go through this black line. And in C's, they are these two lines. So only the full line are in game now. And this game field is mean when you have so one game field for 2 players are only red and black one, and when we play now as 4 players, it's also this white line. So one game field is this one and this one. So we have now something like 50 game fields in the game. When you have a game field with this yellow color, it's pretty good for your grain stuff. When you have a green one, it's a normal game field. And when you have this brown game field or this turquoise one, it's not so good for your agriculture, but it's good for your defend. So this village in mountains has some bonuses for defend. When you have more colors, it's in the game always the better one in economic side. So on the C, the strong and weak solid boundary lines apply. Definite the C game field. This land game field with a yellow color give a certain advantage in grain yield. Yeah, exactly. Poor brown turquoise one give you advantage in defense. More on that later. Now the setup begins. The starting player black. So now we start with setup, and then on this side we start with game itself. So starting player is black, and he plays now one village on the map. So he plays it here in Ireland, in this turquoise game field. So good for defense. So good defend position. His neighbor brown plays village here. So you can follow it also here when you look at. Here are the numbers and here are also the numbers, so you know what is happens in the game. Blue one go here, so also in Ireland, so it's something like aggressive decision, but could be. Now white one, they go here, he go here, he is going here, and now the order reverse. So we play the first one as placing the second village. He plays it here, and now blue one, brown one, black one. Okay, the black one has to decide if he stay in Ireland or he is going elsewhere. So he is going here. Now this order reverse again. So he plays also the third village. Now brown one. So brown one takes all this yellow game field, for example. Blue one and white one. Okay. White player take all this Scotland, and as you see, here is this black line. So he defend now one of two ways to Scotland from England. So now the orders reverse last time, and all player could now change one position of village. So no one use it except the black player, and he takes this village and places it here. Okay. This is it. Now each player controls 3 land game fields and place all other starting components on them. So there are some rules. Hertz, maximal 2 on one land game field. Grain only in village, and maximal 5 per village. Dock is always on the C game field border. So let's say here. So this village is actually here on the shore. Ship only on the dock, and the light infantry cohorts are arbitrary. So it's no limitation of cohorts on game field. You can see these rules also here. The final state can you see in picture below, so it's here. And you also see this is player board. Here is player name, so brown. We use this in rules, this shortcut BN, and this number, it means how many money or how much money they have. Here he has a stock of game component, as you see here. So each player use their stuff alone on itself, and then all player had this player 8 fold out. So I just put all this other stuff on the board, and you can follow me. So so ship always on the dock. You can make this north orientation, so then you can spare some time for later. So this placing is also playing simultaneously, and you have to decide what's for you important, and it's it's starting position, so you can make a lot of with this place selection. So now the black one. So as you see, hertz are mostly in the rear. So, because it's a target in the game for another player. So, and cohorts. And last one is this white one. And so, and we are ready. We are ready to play. I just explain a last thing here before the game, and we can start. So, looking at the baseline after setup, we can break down a bit what the Scharz game is actually about. The very first version of this game was combination of Game of Thrones and Agricola. And that's good to keep in mind, because that is the basic nature of the game. So I have starting with development this game in April 2019, and the first version was pretty this idea how make something like Game of Thrones and Agricola combination better. So you are playing your economic game, and you also playing your war game. The art is in balance between the two and keeping the players balanced. Yeah, exactly. 4 players have 48 land game field and their disposal. They are the main source of economic power for growing grain and breeding herds. The sea is source of fishes. Everyone starts with 3 villages at the same time. These are the military and economic element, a foothold and storage point in the territory. Yeah, it is so. So as you see, you can store the grain only in a village. It's also the defense point against another army. You can just put your army or a small one cohort against a large army in this fortification. Cohorts are used for fighting, occupying a new field, so let's say neutral fields, but also building new buildings. So it's mean in this game you have some mans, so one cohort is 500 of them, and you have to decide who will be size new territory, who will be fight, and who will be build something new. And when you build something, it takes also the time and your money. And when you are building something, you cannot size another fields or fight. So this position could be in some case, let's say here. So building something here is not a good idea. The game can be won in 4 ways. Force everyone else to surrender you as a vassal. Get 10 victory points, this is here. Mainly by fighting. Meet 2 conditions, as this is an economic goal. So as vassal, you could also win this game, but let's say only by, or mostly by this economic condition. So you size 14 land game field. You have 7 settlements, 35 agriculture point, or you build 2 cities. And fourth way is to be the richest in final scoring. Actually, when someone wins with this another condition, the other player are scoring this rich scoring. In each game, the winning strategy can be different. Let's try to show it on 4 rounds. So this is only the basic mode. I could also say in this player card we play now only this white background. So yellow one is for advanced mode. So as you see, it's something here, and here for example it's only advanced mode. They are starting bonuses for each map. And the red one or pink one background is actually for complex mode only. Yeah. So now the game could start. So we just look at the first page or first round. So this is first round spring. After first round, the board seems like this. So you can check it. And here are the players' money taking. So how much money each player had. So you can check it here and here and then here. So it's pretty simple to follow this rule. So first phase, so we just take this indicator and put it on the face. The second one we don't need because we play only 1 year. So this is for years and this is for phases. So as you see, first cube phase, then move cohorts and so on. So when we look, for example, here, cubes phase, it's mean take new herd from the supply for every 2 identical herds and place them on the map. Here is the same now. So you just check each year in this phase how many cubes, how many herds you have, and for each identical 2 you take 1 extra. So when you have 6 of sheep in year 3, you take 3 of them. When you have only 1, you don't take these big cubes. So he plays it, for example, here, 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 and here, and we are ready. So we are done. Let's say this phase is done. You cannot make something something else. It's done. So we can move to another phase, and it's subphase move cohorts. Move cohorts. Now each cohort has a capacity of 1 movement. The first round is mostly about sizing new territories for subsequent seeding. The black and the brown player get a bit of heat, start with their moves, eventually opting for sectionally neutral moves, so as not to leave their cohorts unused. With the last free move, black challenge the brown to duel. Okay, so let's say now the players are playing simultaneously. So when you are, for example, a blue player, you first check, okay, can somebody hurt me? Probably not, so I can play, I could start play, so I just play my game. I'm not interested of what the others are doing, and okay, I'm done. I could move to another phase, but I have to wait for another player. Same for the white player. He just moved with this cohorts, and you always make this orientation change. So another players are seeing this cohorts has no more capacity to move. It's important here in this front situation. So let's say a black player could now say, okay, I wait before you play all your moves. And also it could say the brown player. So in this game is the rule, when nobody moved then, so now for example, someone play, okay, do you want to play? And when both players are said, I am waiting, then it's as in poker, for example, then we move to another phase. So in this situation, could brown play some moves, some neutral moves? Okay, something like that. And now he is waiting with this because he is scared from attack from this black player, and also the black player is scared from attack of brown player. But as you know, maybe in move you have also the special movement and retreat movement. And retreat mean you can retreat to your village only. So if you go here, you can also retreat. So this player make this one move, and now the brown player know, okay, this cohort cannot in this round move to my village, so I can also move with one. And then quite fluently the brown player makes a move, and also the black player could make some moves. And now brown make this move, and now a black player challenge him in fight, because this is actually very important field in this situation, because you can attack 3 black player game field, or 1, 2, 3, 4 brown game fields. Okay, So now move special, it is now possible to relocate mainly unblocked hertz to newly acquired LAN game fields within the interconnection, not necessarily to neighbored LAN game field. It means I could now move my economic stuff in my Imperium or my my game fields. So not only one, but also here when they are connected. So it is. So for brown player, for example, is this about okay? I need to have this hertz in safety, and I need to unblock my yellow game field for grain, because in the end of this round is this sowing phase. So I just he needs to relocate this hertz. So he do it. Also for, let's see here, for black one, here, 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 and here. Okay, so we are done now. You could theoretically also relocate some grain stuff, something like this. No needed. And your fish stuff, and this this word unblocked hertz. It's mean when for example here is one cohort, I cannot relocate this unit because it's now blocked. So they have to stay here. When they are here, they could only retreat to village, but only one. So this is something about blocked fields. Now move retreat. We can now retreat to our villages. This is usually an advantage for defenders, but can also be used to regroup. You can see it with number 1 and 2. So as you see, for example here, he sized a neutral game field, and now he can retreat to his village. You have also now the capacity of 1 for movement. So okay, you retreat here, and this one retreat. Don't retreat. Okay, this one also retreat. This one also. He also retreat. This one no. And this one yes. And this one. For example here, he can retreat not only to the first village who has started, but also to another. So he made it. And you can also retreat to your ship. So something like this. Okay, we are done. Now combat. So I just we are now in combat phase, and first subphase is withdraw. There is no village on the battlefield this time. So it's mean combat phase you play only when you have 2 players on 1 game field. This is only this situation. And withdraw is only played when you have this situation. So you can withdraw to your village, to your fortification. Okay. Now combat battle. So this is standard battle. In a fair 1-on-1 fight, brown had better luck. So you just look here on this player height. You find light infantry, and here is also attack. So attack of 1 light infantry cohort is dice 1, and you have only 1 life. Dice 1 is this dice, So this is the white one. And when you have more cohorts, you have also some bonuses here. So you can just look at here if you could accumulate some bonuses from something. So in this fair fight, both players just roll these dice, and one have luck, one not, and brown is a winner. In basic mode, you just take this dead cohort and put it back to black player. In another mode, you have something like manpower, so you just take it to you, and in New Year phase, you just retake something back as a player. No, not important now. And important is this. So this give brown player his first victory point for winning the battle. Black player has -1, but minimum is 0, so he doesn't have to deduct any point. So brown player has now 1 victory point. We go to another phase. Subphase is combat siege. So it's no village is encircled, so there is no siege. Exactly. So when you are in this situation and you as brown withdraw to village, this village is now encircled. So it's mean a special situation for this village. You cannot supply this village, and so on and so on. And siege mean you can just storm this village, or you just can wait for example, the feeding phase, and then there is no grain tokens, so they cannot feed this army and this village, and that's why they just given up to attacker, for example. So we go to another subphase, and it's rear construction. There are never any construction in round 1. Construction phase, it's mean when you buy in a trade phase some buildings material, your cohort are there and so on. In construction phase, they make their work. So you just cannot with one cohort move and build something in the same time. It's not possible. You just have to be in construction, and then in construction phase you just make this construction work. So we move to trade phase, and here is, so black decide to go all out, so all in, pull a herd of sheep and pigs and sell the 8 meat he gets for a total of 4 money. He also buy 3 cohort of light infantry, which is maximum given the 3 villages. Okay, it could it could be complicated now, but it's not so. So as the black has he has been defeated here in this important game field. He has now only 3 cohorts here, but brown player has, or here are 5 and +1, and here is only 4 +1. So he decided to buy maximum of new cohorts what he could. And as you see here, each village has a limitation to purchase new cohorts only for 1. So he could only purchase 3 cohorts. And as you have seen, 1 light infantry cohort is only one he can buy now, and it costs 2 money. And black player has only 5 money, so he needs to sell something. And he decided to sell herds, because herds are pretty good source of money. So you just look at here, so you can look at here, and you see here is trade for trade phase you have trade building, trade cohorts, and trade commodities. For commodities, without port, you just cannot purchase or sell these herds. You can only cool them out. So cool it to the meat and then sell them this meat. So you do it as a black player. But how many meat you can achieve from one herd? This is maybe complicated because it's only in feeding. Because in feeding you have to decide if you feed this herd or you cool them. When you feed it, you just take some meat from boys' sheep. When you cool them, you spare these gray tokens and you take more meat from them. And this is this important situation for us. So we just cool one sheep herd and one pig herd, and it's 3 plus 5 meat together, 8. And we just check the prices. And by meat, you cannot store a meat. That's why you don't have the meat token. So, and price is same with port and without port, because you cannot store them. So, but you just can look at in spring and summer, the price for one meat is only half, and in autumn and winter is 1. So when you don't need, it's better to sell this meat in winter or in autumn. But he is in a difficult situation, so he sells this 8 meat for 4 money. So he has 5 plus 4 is 9. And now he is buying this 3 cohort. And he could only place each cohort only 2 village and only 1 for a village. So let's say something like here, something like that. And he also needs to pay for it, so it's 9 minus 6, so he has only 3 money now. You play this trade subphase also simultaneously, but you can wait. And for example, in this situation, brown player has now this information from black player. So brown player thinks about tribute. This is diplomatic stuff. You can find diplomatic stuff only in game rules. So it's something like you buy peace between 2 players for 1 year for money or your stuff. By tribute, the other player have to accept this condition. He could also refuse it. When you pay a redemption, he cannot refuse it, but it's more expensive. So he was thinking about tribute, but then decided to defend himself and buy 2 cohort of light infantry for 4 money. So brown player have also 5, and 1 cohort costs only 2, so he has it. He don't need to sell something, and he buy 2 cohorts for 4, and he place it here and here. Here it's not so important because this is this is in front village, and this is 2 rounds from the battlefield. So he just make this decision. Now blue player sell 4 grain for 2 money. So same as here, you just check the prices without port, half. So he sell 4 grain, so it's 2 money for him. So blue just take 4 grain, sell it, and he has 2 more gold. Now, and buy 2 cohort of light infantry and upgrade 1 to transport ship, and at the same time, all for a total 6 money. Okay, so as we see, the transport ship could be only upgraded from light infantry cohort. So it's mean you have these 500 men and you buy them ships. So they are now sailmen, not sailmen, but oh, I don't know. So this naval person. It costs 2 money, so it's simple. He just needs to pay 6 money. He has 7 now, so 1 remain, and he put 2 new cohort, 1 here and one here. And now he upgrade one of these cohort to transport ship. So I just rotate it to north for next round. So you made just this small movement and this thinking and preparation in your spare time. So, and last one is the white player. He is also in safety because there are nobody in neighbor now, so he meanwhile only upgrade 1 cohort to transport ship for 2 money. So he just upgrade this cohort for 2 and we are done. So now is the last subphase of rear phase, and this is fishing. For each sea game field controlled, player now receive 1 fishes token for the interconnected dock. So it doesn't mean this unit make this fishing himself. It's about the civilian can now use this shore or these seas because it's protected from these units. So your civilian cannot make this fishing here because it's dangerous. So now each player take just this fishes token and put it to dock. Also dock has a capacity of 2 of fishes. So when you have more, you just need to you cannot fish then. And last phase is sowing and yields. Finally, stored grain can be planted on the controlled land game field without herds. So it's only herds or only grain. Interconnection required. Storage capacity is 15 for all. So far, it makes sense to sow accordingly. Brown has the advantage of yellow fields, so can save a bit. Pure brown and turquoise fields yield 1 extra grain, green 2 grain, and yellow even 3. The yields is replenished immediately from the stocks of components of the grain already sown. So 15 is a limit because you have 3 villages and each village has capacity of 5. So when you sell everything else what you don't use sow, you have 15 grain capacity. So it makes sense. For example, for blue, he has all this green game field to invest only 5 grain. Yes, here. Not 6, because he cannot store them. It's better to sell this 1 for gold as to put it away. And you make the yields immediately from your storage. So you just check the color. When is there something green, you just put 2. Then you have yellow as here. Then you put 3 of them. And when you have only green, only 2 again. So now, for example, here the white player is not connected to another village. So when he has all this grain here, he cannot sow this grain here because he is not connected. So this hedge, it's not important now. It's only important for complex mode, and it's climate zone. So in Scotland it's colder, and the weather then there is more complicated. So that's why it's this hedge. But the color here is green, so you just put the normally as in another game fields. So, and now black one. So also here, and he cannot seed more. So here are the herds, here also, and theoretically here. So he could invest it in wells. So rules are the same. So you just check the color and put another grain. Here in mountain only 1, and here 2. Okay, we are done with a first round of the game. These regular phase will be repeated. The special are now different. So we just check the money. So black 3, white 3, 1, 1. Okay, we are good. So now is phase move cohort. In the end of the year is taxes, so that's important again. At the end of this round are taxes, and so it is good to take as many fields as possible. However, this is not the only strategy. So white player already control 2. So let's play. So white player, he just move here, and now he can fishing. He can fishing from this 2. So 2 fishes in 1 round. So it's 1 money actually. Then he just move here and here and here and stay with this 4th cohort. So white player already control 2 C game field and concentrate the remaining unit on the land game field. This is this situation. Blue capture new fields while loading 3 cohorts onto a transport ship and immediately land with it in Cornwall. Okay. He loses the ship and gains 1 money. This is an allowed combination of move. So, okay, again, this is maybe more complicated. So, look at it. You can board your cohorts to your naval unit from more game field, but you can only upload this unit, or you can land only on 1 game field. So this is this situation. Capacity of transport ship is 3 cohort. So he just move from 1 game field to another, and they are empty. When this cohort, for example, stay here and this cohort move, he could also be in this game field in this village. So he just moved with this cohort and he is not empty with his capacity of movement. So now he could move here. So this is the situation. So when you have 4 cohorts here now, or let's say 6, so 3 here and something like 3 another here, you could, from this combination, make landing of 6 cohort in 1 moment. Yeah. So, and these are empty, but this not, and he can land here in Cornwall, but with landing you lost your ships. In this game you lost it, so you are now again normal light infantry, but the ships are away, but not without compensation. So you just sell this ship to Cornwall people for one, so for half price. So you just have 2 money now. Empty, empty, empty. And the another unit are... So yeah, I just make it wrong. So again, so let's just show. So again, sorry. So the situation was so, and he just moved with 3 cohort, make this landing, yeah, as same, and then he moved with this cohort to this game field, and now he moves together. So this was combination of movement, but it's allowed. And now another cohorts go here and here. Good. So just so now the another player. So blue and white is done, and now black. Black prepare a beachhead for attack in central England. So what he can do? He just saw, okay, I need to size this game field. So he just moved from different direction with all his stuff to one game field. So it's challenge for brown one now. And he could also place 5, let's say 6 cohort on this game field. But then it's open wing for this black and this, not now, but for later, this blue unit. So brown now need to take some time for reinforcement or for preparation for defense. So he just moved away from this game field. It's simultaneously. So in game rules you can find a sentence. Game field is locked only when there is enemy unit before this subphase and hold this subphase. This is not the situation. Before this subphase, it was an enemy unit, so it's not locked. So he can move away. So black player just size this and go here, and okay, now it's waiting, and now the brown player have to react. So brown maneuvers and skillfully occupied South Wales from the black fleece, and brown scores 1 victory point for sown corn. Not corn, but grain. So they are just empty, this cohort. So it was just quick move, but maybe it was better to move only with 1 cohort and then wait. But he just do it. So he just did it. No. So he just take these 2 brown cohort and go here. They are now empty. And same as here, the brown can stay or fight. He sees 2 against 1, so it's 100% more men. So he just decide, okay, I just don't try my luck and I go away. He just needs to move now, because then he is waiting to retreat phase. This game field is then locked, and he cannot move from there. So it's done, and now the brown player has sized this enemy grain, and this is also for 1 victory point. He just can destroy it, or he can spare it and wait for harvest and then use it for himself. This decision is only making in the end of the battle phase, so this combat phase. So the another unit are moving here, stay it, and here. Okay. I think we are done for now with movement phase. We go to special movement. Brown must or have to now protect their herds or cool them in the trade phase, subphase. He chooses the first option, and blue moves the herd of pig. So blue just move here the pig, and the brown just need to move the herds, Price's herd to safety. It's only here the place for placing the herds, but it's dangerous for next move from the black player. It could be trap, for example. It could be a decision, but he has also another solution, and this is to. He cannot destroy the grain now because this is work. Could be done only in the combat phase, so it's full this game field for herds. But he has option to move it to the village. It's possible, but it has a disadvantage. The brown player has now to feed these animals because they are not in the land. And this is also done in the end of the combat phase. So now the retreat phase. Only blue is retreating to transport ship from Ireland. So actually, again, this movement, you can just move here, and then in retreat, you can move here. Or you just could retreat to your ships and so on. So, okay, we are done. Now combat phase. This time, combat. There is no two player on any game field, so this phase is skipped. Only brown burns a grain in Wales, so it's destroyed. For it, he reclaimed 1 victory point, and brown feeds herd in villages with a total of 2 stored grain. Exactly, it's connected, not blocked, so he could just invest these 2 grains for feeding these 2 herds. How many grain you have to use for feeding? You always could check feeding phase, and you see for any sheep it's 1, when it's pig it's 2. 2 grain here. So now we are ready to go to construction phase. In the first round, nobody started with construction of buildings, so we are skipping this time as well. So construction is skipped, and now trade. So blue sells the last of the grain and fish for a total of 1 money, freeing up capacity for the harvest. So he has 1 fish and 1 grain, and when you check the player card, it's half and half, and together is 1. So he just sells this 2, and he has now 3 money. So for white one, this also make white and gain 3 money. So he has 2 plus 3 plus 1 fish, together is 6. Half of this is 3, so he has 3 plus 3 is 6 money now. And now the white player At the same time, he started building a new village with 4 cohort. This is a maximum number for 3 money. So we just take again this player 8 and look at trade building. We want to buy a village. It costs 3 money. It take 4 rounds. And minimum of cohort you need it for building this structure is 2 cohorts. So he paid 3 money. So here's again 3. He just take this building, place it here where the cohorts are. You have this element only on one side, so you just put it on the land. This is a village building, village structure, and you put all these cohorts on it with orientation like this. Cause in construction you can see you start with building with this orientation. When you are ready with 25%, it's 90 degree, and so on and so on. When you are ready, well, you are out of this building, and yeah, it's done. So you just rotate, not rotate, but you just take another side of this building. Okay, white is done, and now since brown is under pressure from 2 players, he finally decides to unload or cult the free herd of sheep and pig. So again, and he could wait 1 more game round, he just could sell these 2 units not for 4 money but for 8. But he decides so he has now 1 plus 4 is 5, and he also sell 3 grain and 1 ship, 1 fish. So this is 3 grain, so 1, 2, 3 and 1 fish together for 2. So he has now 7 money, and he buys 3 new cohort with 6 money earned. So 7 minus 6 is again 1. And he plays another 3 cohorts on his village. The village has to be unblocked. When this village is with enemy unit, you just cannot buy new units. And black, who has been waiting, decide to change his previous strategy, sells all the grain and fish and buy 1 cohort, which he immediately upgrade to a ship, and as a result he remove 1 money. So here is added, but it's false. So he just sells all grain, so it's 3 plus 2 is 5 plus 1 fish, 6, and half of them is 3, so he has 3 plus 3 is 6. And he buy new cohort of light infantry for 2, and he immediately upgrade it for transport ship for another 2. So he has now 2 money, and we are done. Sorry, I just forget to I just don't remove these 2 units which was cooled in round 1. Sorry. So this was trade phase. Now we are fishing. So white is now fishing 2 fishes, the others each only 1. So white is now 2 fishes. The other player only 1. And now taxes. So in this game, taxes are a blessing. You don't have to pay them, but instead collect them, namely for village +1 and controlled land game field the half furthest from the land game field with the village adjusts. The halves are rounded down now based on the situation after round 2. Try to calculate the tax revenue for each player and then check the result. It is okay. We make it alone now. So blue player, he has 3 villages, they are complete, and he has 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 game field. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. Genau, exactly. So but this game field has to be neighbor game field to game field with village. It's not the case here because it's through the seas, and here it's also the neighbor game field has no village. So he has only 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. So 9 is for half. It's 4 and half. Rounded down is 4 plus 3 from village is 7 money from taxes. So he has 3 money. So now he has 10 of them. Same for white. So he has also 3 completed villages. This one is not complete, so you cannot collect taxes here from village. So he has 3 plus 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. It's 4. 4 plus 3 is 7. Also 7. 3 plus 7 is also 10. Now the black player has also 3 villages. So it's 3. 1 2 3. 2 plus 3 is 5. And now these game fields 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. 8 halves is 4. So another 4. 5 plus 4 is 9. And last one, brown player. Also 3 villages, none is blocked, so it's 3. 1 plus 3 is 4, and now game fields 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 3 and a half, so rounded down is 3. 4 plus 3 is 7, and we are done with round 2. I just checked the money. 9 10 7 10. Okay, we are good. So we can go to round 3. So now is autumn, and in the end of this phase is harvest. So white doesn't need to move. So when you check the white player, he actually cannot move now, because this 4 cohort are building a structure or building, and these 2 want to stay here to fish 2 fishes. And also for special movement or retreat, he cannot. He don't want to move because why? He has no empty field and until the harvest, so he just don't do anything in phase move. So cohort, special and retreat as white player. For blue player, the situation is different, and we just read what is about. The situation is complicated by other 3 players hesitating to start. So no one to move, because when 2 fight, the 3 can wait, and another round he can just take advantage. So what is the situation? This poker check or what? Finally, brown decide to take the initiative to setting up suitable situation for him. So brown moves the ship into Celtic Sea. So he just make this move. So I just rotate all cohorts again, sorry. Then you can see the capacity also. The capacity of movement. So, not important here. So, he just moved here to Celtic Sea. Also, this game field is not blocked now. He has just arrived, so he could move here. But what's the situation for blue player? If he lose this fight, because in first battle round fight only the ships, up to second round could also the crew fight together with the ships. So it's risk or danger. He just could lose 2 cohorts, and these are then cut off from this island. And in winter he just need to feed this army, and without feeding they just give up, or they just make for themselves the situation. So this is dangerous situation. And you know, exactly, so too great risk for possibility to being unable to supply the army in Cornwall over the winter. In addition, a black joined with his ship. So black player also joined this game field because he want to move here and here. For blue player is now the situation in 3-way battle. You just decide your opponent. So you just have one attack, but you just choose against who. And this is pretty bad. So he just now make this load of 2 cohort, and then he has only 3 capacities, so he just cannot unload one and then load another. So he just move here. He is downgraded. This is decision. So, and he receive 2 money, because he now is selling these ships not to people in Cornwall, but own people. So he just sell it for whole price, so for 2. These 2 units has to take some herds or something, because they has now problem, or okay, maybe they are more solution what can they done, but they just waiting now. And the other units are now moving. They are moving. Oh, sorry, I have. Yeah, so he moves here, and this one stays here. White is done, and now here. What is this situation? He is waiting. They are done, and now black one are waiting, and brown also. And now brown player again size the initiative and attack the center of England from all sides, as he has the upper hand, and the resulting crossing movement would trap black's army in battle. Black retreat north. And okay, make this. So now he just arrived from different direction to one game field. As reserve, he has these 2 units. He can defend this game field. And now when, for example, black player want to go through this unit, the unit stop all army on the borders, and up to from the second battle round, all units from game field they has this border could join this battle. So it's mean he just cannot go through without fighting with another unit from this game field and this game field. That's why he has now possibility to fight with 5 plus theoretically 1 cohort, but with undefended grain, or he just could, and they are 7 of them, so he just decide to retreat to north, because this game field is not locked. So now the situation seems like this. And the last sentence in this round, in this subphase, is: an attack from Wales is looming trap for brown, possible retreat from black, and so he waits. And also here, so when he moves here, he can retreat or he can move. And also when he moves 2 against 1 in retreat phase, now this cohorts could retreat here, and then his situation, he cannot retreat because it's locked from this one unit, so he cannot retreat 2, and then it's a trap, so he just wait 2. So we are done with cohort move. Special nothing this time. Move retreat. Black cohort retreat to village with a dog. Sorry. I don't know what is mean now. Retreat only. Oh, sorry, not black, but blue retreats to village in North Island. So he retreat here. So we are done. Now combat withdrawal, again nothing. Combat battle, the uncrewed naval battle is again won by Brown, scoring his 3rd victory point. So here is now sea battle without crew. So it's when you check the player height, you also have 1 life and 1 attack of this dice 1, and that's why he has rolled 1 dice, he lose, and Brown has achieved 3rd victory point. So we are done with battle. Combat siege, again nothing, so more about later. And now rear construction. White player is building with 4 cohort, which is twice as many as required, what you can check in player height, and therefore not 25% but 50% is now complete. So we just rotate this edge to 50% of complete. Illustrated by yes, I have explained it. Rear trade. So now Brown empties the granaries and take 1 money for 1 grain and 1 fishes. So 1 grain. Sorry, here was move special. Blue and brown are moving the herds of sheep. Yeah, it was here before he leave. Or he was no here. He go here, exactly, and then he moves the special. And blue one was actually here, and he moves here. It's good for taxes and so on. So that sorry, I forget it. So now by retreat he was stayed there. Okay, so that's done. And trade. So Brown empties the granary. I have done it. Brown decide strike a black village is about to take place. Brown is able to add 1 more cohort and attack with the whole legion, 10 cohorts. Black with all his strength is able to get to elf cohort while buying 3 cohorts and landing his fleet from the Irish Sea. In any case, this middle ground threatens a major massacre that would only weaken both sides going forward against the other players. So black offer brown a tribute, which works out to 3 money. Black accept, gaining extra 2 victory point and peace for 4 round. Okay, this is this situation. So we have now as a brown player 7 cohorts here, 2 another here, so it's 9. And here is possible 10th cohort. He can buy it now in trade phase and then attack with these 10 here and then make this siege or something like that. For black, it's possible by here 2 cohorts, so he has then 6 plus, so he's 8, and then he can in move phase retreat with these 2, and with his and then another cohort, so he has 11. But 11 against 10 cohort, it's pretty fair fight, and in fair fight from 2 big army, when you play in 4 player, it's not good because you have also big losses. So when you have a lot of luck, you can be winner, but you has also losses. So it's not good for both player actually. So brown player could now treat the black player as a diplomacy, and black player could say, okay, I pay you tribute. What is tribute? Tribute is you just pay with money or with your commodities minimum of half of your potential tax income. So when you check it now, he has now potential income 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and half of the 6, and half of this as tribute is 3. So he just paid 3 money, 9, 3, 6. He has 8 plus 3 is 11. And now these 2 players has peace for 4 rounds. So because black paid it, brown is upper, and you place it here, and in second year in 4 round is this piece over, and brown player also receive 2 victory points, black -1, but 0 is minimum. Okay, it's done. And now this situation is pretty different. So this main front in this game is peace, and the players now could focus they could reorient their focus to another goal, another player, or building something. And exactly this is happened. So black So blue disband his 1000 men in Cornwall and start building a port in Ireland for 4 money with 4 cohort. So he could with this move, with battle lost, only add 1 victory point to brown player, and that's not good. So he just didn't move, and now next round he could move with all this army, so it make no sense for him. So he just make this cohorts away, and he built here new structure of port with 4 units. When you check your player 8 again, you just see the port is 4 money, 2 cohorts, 4 round. So he just paid 4 money. So he has 8 now. And yeah, that's all actually now for now. So that was a blue. Black immediately start building a city and improvement to village with 4 cohorts for 5 money. So village could be upgraded as a dock to port. So village to city, and city is most important building in the game, because you can then buy a heavy infantry and more stuff. But it's very difficult to build a city because you need 4 cohort. 4 is maximum. It takes a lot of time, and you are pretty vulnerable, so you are in danger against another player. But in this situation exactly, with 4 round piece, he could do it, and he has money for it. So 6 minus 5 is 1. He places it here, and he use this cohort here. If you don't like this 4 cohort, it's too high for you, you just can use this representation. So let's say when you want to represent 4 cohort, you just could take one of cohort and place 3 addition red tokens under this cohort, and it means 1 red token is plus 1 cohort. So then it's not so high. When you use 1 yellow, it means not plus something, it means it's 5. 1 token is 5 of this cohort. So it means when you have 2 of them, it's 10 cohorts, and it's mean 1 legion. 10 cohorts is 1 legion. And when you can also combine it, so this means 5 plus 1. So it's pretty easy then. Okay, just a little explanation. So this was this city building. Brown at this point only built a village in central England for 3 money with 4 cohort. White sells 2 fishes. So white sells 2 fishes for 1. So he has elf. And brown cannot make this upgrade of village to city because he has no unit by village. So he could only build here, here, and he is here only dock actually. So he just built 1 village here. And we just use this thing for representation to show it in practice how it looks like. So we are done with trade phase, and now rear fishing. So brown, blue nothing, black and brown for 1 fish. So he is connected, so he could fish. And white again 2. Now harvest. They all harvest the sown grain from the game fields they control to the interconnected villages by we also across the sea. So when you see here, he is not connected, so he just could harvest only this 3. Here maximum 5. Here also maximum 5. And now he has a problem. He is not connected, but he could use the C connection. So he is actually connected. So he is done. Same here. So the black player, he has sown only 14 grain, and now he lost these 2 in wells, so now he has only 12 of grain. Another player has 15. We could see what it's mean later in the game. This small difference. So I check again this money. So black 1, white elf, brown has 8 and blue has 8. Okay, brown has to pay this village, and this is 3 money, so elf minus 3 is 8. I forget it, so now we are right. And yet now last game round in the year, it's winter. So first is recruitment phase. So we are here in the recruitment phase. You can buy new recruit cheaper, but just before feeding them. It's double-edged sword. The advantage is the accumulation of troops from adjacent controlled land game field. Blue buys 3 cohort, white buys 2 cohort. So as you see here, you can buy 2 1 light infantry. In recruit, only for 1. So it's not so bad, but you have to feed this army, so you have to decide. And we have to see blue 3 and white 2. So white by here 2 cohorts for 2, so he has 9, and blue by 3 cohort here for 3. 8 minus 3 is 5. Why? He can now buy this 3 cohort in 1 village. It's simple. The rules for recruitment are different. You just buy your soldier from your game field, not from your village. So you just recruit your people here, here, and here. So from all your, so limitation is all your game field. So from each game field only 1. But you have to place this unit to neighbor game field with village. So you just cannot recruit someone from here because they don't go 2 game fields. So there are no villages here. So he just recruit here, here, and here, and that's why he has now 3 cohorts. Simple. So it could be advantage. So in basic game you have this recruitment phase in last round. In another modes you have 1 game round for fighting with this new recruit. So you can use it still. In basic mode it's pretty simplified mode, so it could be not so let's say historic simulation. So move cohort. Blue gather cohorts to build a village, so he just moved this cohort here, and he goes here. He is done. I just don't rotate it now because it's not so move. He stay here as white. He just move here to build this city, and also with this 2 he stay here, and with this one he go here. Black player, he is prepared for next year's zone, and now he is going here. And with this one he is also preparing for zone, and he goes here. So we are done. Now special, nothing this time. Retreat, black cohort retreat to village with dog, so he just move here. We are done. Combat, withdraw. The clearing of land, game field, countryside, and the hiding of cohort of defenders behind a village fortification within the land game field will not be shown in this demonstration. As I say, is this move here. Combat battle, no pre-winter, reduce feeding, closed battle. So in winter phase it's good to fight, because then you can achieve something and you spare some meat, grain and so on for feeding your army. So you just make cynical decision to move to battle in last round. Combat siege. We didn't even see the siege. This is quite crucial. In the winter round, the defenders have to feed only from the inner reserve of the settlement. Moreover, the settlement that is not feeded automatically surrender to the besieger without fight. I had to say it, I just could explain more. So when you have this army, let's say here, the one village in Greenfield has fortification level 1. So it means it has 5, not allies, but shields. So it means when you want to go in this village by storm, you have to roll 5 swords. It's pretty lot, so you need to have a large army. Or you just wait to trade phase, and in trade phase you buy upgrade of one cohort to besiege cohort or siege cohort, and this siege cohort doesn't move, and after this storm he's downgraded without profit to against to light infantry, but this cohort don't fight in normal battle in field, but for siege battle he has ability to remove 4 of this shield. So it's mean you need only roll 1 dice and you are in, and all village is conquered. But the defender also without cohort has these people in the village, they will defend this village. So it means for each level of fortification you just roll with these blue dice. So with 2 cohorts actually it's a chance to defeat this village not so high. So you need you need more cohorts, let's say. Okay, so this was something about siege, but this siege is more complex. Let's say when you encircle this village, he has still this dog, and with through this dog you can supply your encircled village. So you have also encircled this village from this sea game field, and so on and so on and so on and so on and so on. Okay, rear construction. So we managed to complete the construction of the village, so another 50%, so it's done now. It won't help with taxes or harvest this year, so for next year he has another money from taxes and 5 more grain capacity, but for now it doesn't help. And he has to, unlike the unfinished settlement, however, it must be feed. So he has to feed this village now. The other player with unfinished village doesn't need to feed this village. So, Brown has 50% of village, so we just rotate it to 50%. Here is only 25% finished, and here is 50% finished. Now rear trade. So we are here in trade phase, subphase. Black sells 2 fishes for 1 money. So 1 money has 2. And buy 1 cohort upgrade to transport ship with an remaining money. So for 2 money he just buy upgrade to ships. transport ships. He has 1 money left. What? Sorry, I just have to check it. No, this is blue. Sorry. So brown buys a city building and upgrade to transport ship. He has 1 money left. So brown player now buy upgrade to city for 5 money. So we just take another 3 and we remove 3 of them. 1 is remain. And this one is upgraded, so, and it goes 5 plus 2, so it's 7, he has 8, so he has now 1 only. Exactly. Blue buys the village building for 3 with 2 money left, so he also would build something new, so he just he paid 3, 1, 2, 3, and he is done with 2 money left. And last one, so white player is the builder. So he started building the city upgrade with 4 cohort and port upgrade with 2 cohort at the same time. He sells 2 fishes for 1 money, which is also his balance. So he now has to pay 4 for port and 5 for city, so it's 9 together. He has 9, and he also sells these 2 fishes, so he has now 1 money. So they seem like these, and here like these. You just could use what you prefer for this representation of construction. So we are done. Now rear fishing. So blue again nothing, white against 2, and other black and brown has again only 1. So, and now last phase in the game, and it's in the year, it's feeding. And now the annual moment of truth that may leave some unwary player with not even enough grain for next sowing. The player must with grain feed the herds, less meat gained, or cool the herds, more meat gain, and spare this grain. And then he must feed all villages, cities, not ports, but I think you don't feed ports, it's false here, and cohorts, or dissolve them with fish, grain, and meat. He can only sell the surplus meat now and at a better price, even without the port. Now let's look at our players. So we look how it's doing. Better price, it means you just sell it the meat for 1 now. I just show how it's working. So the feeding phase is probably the most complicated phase in the game, but it's not so much complicated. So I just explain how to simplify it. So it has 2 parts. First is decision about herds, and then feeding the cohorts and villages or cities. They are completed. So for a blue player, he just need to kill or cool or feed the herds. So decision is he just feed all herds. So when you just check the player aids, you see for sheep you need 1 grain, for pig 2 grain. So he just use 5 of his grain, and he now receive two meat, and 3 meat. So together 9 meat. And he has all this herds for next year season, for his cubes phase and so on. So 9 meat. So now he need to calculate how many cohort and villages he has. 1, 2, 3, and cohorts he has 9. So with meat he could feed all cohorts, and he need to feed with grain another village. So 1 grain to 1 village, he is done. You can see it here. So blue, -5 grain, plus 9 meat for herds, -3 grain, and -9 meat for cohorts and buildings. Easy. Here, same situation, but different decision. He just feed the sheep and cool the pig. So he spared 2 grain, so only 3 grain are away, and he receive 2, 2, 2, so 6 meat plus not 3 but plus 5. You just could check this feeding, and when you cool a pig you have 5 meat. So 5 plus 6 is 11. So he has 11 meat. He has also 1 extra from 2 fishes, so he has 12 units. So he calculate 1, 2, 3, 4 villages and 8 cohorts. It's mean 11 plus fishes is 12. So he is done. But he would decide, okay, when I sell the grain without port, it cost me profit only half. When I just feed with my grain my units, and I sell the meat, 1 meat is then 1 money. So he just can make a revenue of 6 money. So he just do it, and he has 1 plus 6 is 7. And this rest grain is for sowing next year. Again, we could check it, white, what I said, and he has now 7, so it's also correct. Now, black player, he has only 2 sheep, and when he cool them, he don't have cubes. So it could be the dangerous situation for upcoming years. So without herds, your army is only grain feeding, and you are pretty limited with it. So he just decided to feed these two herds. So he received 4 meat, and he has now 3 villages and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 plus 3 is 11 minus 4. 11 minus 4 is 7 grain has to be paid. So it's something like this. And he has only 3 for next sowing. So he make decision, okay, I just invest only 6 of them, and I just make this cohort away. And now here, Brown as last player, he also feed both herds. So he has 4 meat, and he has 3 villages, and 1, 2, 3 plus 8, 11 plus 3 is 14, minus 4 is 10, so he needs to pay 10 grain, so he paid 2 fishes, so only 9 now. 9, something like that. He has this yellow game field, so he could invest not so many grain, so he's okay with it. So we just check it. So brown has 1, okay, blue has 2, white has 7, and black has 0. So as you see now, the situation is pretty different as at the beginning. So the different player played a different strategy. And we have here last page, so I just read something and I just speak about the game more, what you can find here. So after action review, if we were to end the game now and collect the wield, so the scoring, black would get 55.5 points, white 72, brown 81, and blue 76.5. So brown is the best player. When you check the map, you can say, okay, I think the richest is the white. He has a lot of money and a lot of things, but buildings are not complete, and brown player has this 5 victory point. That's also the points in scoring. Of course, after 4 rounds, this doesn't make much sense. If no player wins on an under condition, points are scored after 36 rounds, so let's say after 9 years. But you could also say, okay, we played 5 years and then we collect a point if nobody win with another condition. That's your decision. So white, we can see that the game is just getting going. Black already has economic problems, bad location. On the other hand, he managed to build a K city first with heavy infantry that is relatively cheap, because this upgrade costs only 1 money, and strong, because they have 2 lives, and then also heavy infantry has this blue dice, and he has also ability to reroll 1. So this is pretty strong unit against light infantry, and it's cheap. Only problem is a built city, and a built city is vulnerable thing, and he is in ideal position. So and they are being equally demanding to feed, because they are only 500 men still. It is possible to dominate on land. Each player is more vulnerable when building. Timing a build so that no one treats it while still being finished before the other players is key skill in the game. Both white and blue stay out of the way and build. This is certainly an interesting long-term strategy, but as we see, the brown only needs to practically conquer 1 village and it immediately ends the game for everyone. So it's mean, when he size 1 village, let's say this, and he steal one grain or something, he has 10 points. And when he holds this 10 point for 1 extra round, it's end of the game. He is winner, and the other player are scoring the points. So this long-term strategy is maybe right, but not the best, maybe. I hope you are now beginning to see the interestingness of this game. The game has more complex rules than you might have seen so far. It works with any number of players on different maps. In fact, it's only since advanced mode that the asymmetrical starting bonus apply. Have you noticed that you play relatively without waiting for another player's turn? Actually, you didn't see it now, because I played only myself, but maybe I just show you how could it work normally. So now with Corona it's difficult to see a lot of players they play now with me, but we have beta tested this game in year 2020, and this game is development fast 3 years, so it is tested. I have also old version of tabletop simulator version of this game, So it pretty works. I just show it myself because I'm quicker now. Okay. The game is actually set up for you to try out your ideas with it. That's why I paid a lot of attention to perfection the wooden components. Actually, personally, I'm most excited about the ability to play at other time periods on given maps and discover historic context that way. So this game in advanced mode is actually in Brittany or province Britannia of Roman Empire in year 400 AD. But you also can say, okay, I just want to try a William Conqueror period. So you can set up it. Okay. Or also the gamer overcoming a humble start. 1 village, 5 grain, 2 herds of sheep and 3 cohorts. Of course the game is then infinitely longer, but knowledge of the being able to play it your own, perhaps even in 2 on large map like chess, brings me personally the greatest pleasure. Yes. So humble start, the first version of game, you start only with one village, but then you play, let's say, 1 hour and nothing happened. You cannot fight with another because you have not so many units, and when you lose 1 only from 3, you have now a big problem. So my wife was coming with this idea to make this humble start way, and you can use 3 villages and it worked perfectly now. But you can still try this. Let's say you use not this 48 game field, but you use this fast 100 in 2 players, and you play this humble start and with these complex rules, and it's then a pretty awesome game experience for whole day with one big battle on the battle board special for it. So I think it's, yeah, I trust you will find this design satisfying and enjoy a lot of excitement of playing and exploring with the game. Before the real first game, basic mode. So when you want to play this game now, after checking or after playing this first game, my recommendation is you don't need to read all the rules. You just could play with this player height, and maybe you just read this diplomacy thing, and you can start to play, and you are done quicker. But you also could read these rules, so that's something what I am recommended here. And about game rules, the game rules could seem pretty complicated because it seems like this. It has not professional graphic, it has an untypical structure, but I explain it. I just made it to make it simple for a mainstream player. So when you are not historic strategy player, let's say you are a player of GMT games, so you can find this game rules a little bit confused because that's not traditional structure. But when you are a mainstream player and you buy your first GMT games, it's pretty difficult to study these rules and play this game. Also with this first game, I have this first game on 4 pages. GMT games, it has 20 pages or so on. So I just make these game rules for normal people. And when you like this game as a mainstream player, you then could use this game as this bridge game from mainstream game to advanced game, something like GMT games or Compass game or so on. So you just need to know, in game rules you find only three sort of thing. They are game components and description of maps and so on. So all what you can see and touch as description. This is one part of game rules. Second is description of these phases. So what you can in time, what you can meet. So every subphase with description and what is connected with it. And last thing are the special thing. Something like starting bonuses, something like weather, something like morale of the army, something like prestige concept or something. So, and this is the third part of the game rules. And when you know it's only these three things in the game rules and you can use this index, it's pretty simple. It's not confusing. You just need to know this game rule structure. Okay. That was all now for now. And now something to advanced mode. If you find the basic game mode too simple, you are right. It's actually a mode created by chopping of the original game. It's complex enough to work, but it's limited in its capabilities. Sorry. Still, it's good place to start. If you have mastered it, but it's not quite right, you can move on to advanced mode. So as I can say, the basic mode or starting mode, let's say, starting mode, it's for you as first game, for you to play with your wife or your friends, parents and so on. When you have a better group, so this game is actually a target group for students, as first, for advanced player, experienced player with good group. So they just has some club, and one day they come in 3, another day they come in 6. So they have to separate for 2 games. In this game you just play it together always, and you just can show your experience, your edge. And third target group is let's say it's let's say they are fathers with their children, with their sons. So you just have a child with 8 years or 10 years, and you want to show him something more complex. You can learn him to plan. You can learn him this encirclement, this complex stuff. They are pretty simple. And child are pretty genius. They just learn the easy stuff, and then they could absorb another rules when they play it with practice. So learning but playing is for child the best way how to learn something complex. And this game is so ideal for it. And people from, let's say, Spielessen or Spielessen, with these children, they like this game, they love this game. So advanced mode adds few new feature. It makes all game components accessible. So kettles, horses, additional fortifications, so you can build some fortification to your village or another buildings. New units and their special features as bonuses and maluses. So you have additional rules for groups and for terrains and so on. You have also this special ability and so on and so on. This provides far more possibility, strategy and combination. it begins to distinguish between two types of C-game field. So it's this stormy and this calm C-game fields. The stormy are dangerous, but you have you are sure you are fishing here good, not in calm water. Okay, adds self-regulation balance between players in the form of rival. So rival concept is something special. I think you know a lot of game for 2 to 5 player, which you can play only in 4, good or well, and in another numbers it work not so good. In this game it's not the case. Because, okay, also here is something like king making, theoretically, but not so strong. But here, with this concept of rival, it's not, it's never the situation in 3 players to cooperate against 1. Because you have bonus against 1, he has bonus against him, and he against him. And when we cooperate, he has big losses, and no, not so many prestige as gain, and so it's not so good to cooperate with someone who his profit is bigger than yours, and so on and so on. And this balance this game pretty good. So when you have 5 player, you can have two possibility how is this rival distribution create. So it's 1 round, so 1 against him, or you have small round and second round. So you have these 2 against him, and then here is 1 round of he against him and him. So it's balanced this game, and you can also buy this rival bonus later in this game. So that's pretty good, I think. So it balances itself, this game. Then you have exactly, so now each player will have their own interest. He won't effectively work with someone against someone else. I want to say one more thing about it. This game is actually for 2 to 12 player. I sell now 2 parts of this game, so maximum is now 8 players. When you play this game in 2 players, it's quite difficult game, different game, as when you play in another numbers of player. So let's say it's 1 game for 2 and second game for 3 to 12 player. Why is that so? So in 2 players you have only 1 front, and after first clash, when you are winner, it's pretty end of the game. So you can play more, but so it's easy. It's like chess. So you just when you make 1 big mistake, it's nothing what you can make in this game more. So it's better to calculate it and then say, okay, I just give up. In 3 players, when you make some mistake, you can still be a winner later in this game. So this dynamic of 3 to 12 is pretty different as in 2 players. Okay. It adds a second currency besides money, prestige. It can be acquired 2 ways, actively and passively, and it can also be disposed on it 2 ways, actively and passively. This gain leads to more possible strategy and combination. What is prestige? So prestige is here. It's also one of economic condition when you accumulate it. And against rival you have 50% of gain prestige. So you can gain prestige by killing some unit, destroy something, vassal acquire, and so on and so on. And you can, so actively and passively, when you play phase festival, you can also make some prestige without fight. And when you pay more grain, you can receive a lot of prestige. So, and what you can buy for prestige? Special thing. So you can double speed, you can reroll, you can attack to in the back of this unit. So let's say in the construction, when you attack a construction building and they are army there, you can buy with this prestige to attack this in the back construction. You can buy another arrival. You can buy mercenary, but only for enable fraction, because mercenary normal you buy only for money. Double speed of building. Here was you can no double. Here was it. You can buy double more cohorts in one village. Here is move capacity in special movement. So it's pretty good when you want to make some money or some aggressive expansion or something. And Corsair. So that's all prestige. And you also could accumulate it. And then you have these passive bonuses. So building cheaper, double speed, and so on and so on. Here are more bonuses in the game. So Legion, move faster, blah, 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 and so on and so on. In addition, the different length of the year, exactly, yes, I have to show it now, because, sorry. So I have here also the other languages. It's not important now. So here you can see the advanced overview card or board. It has 6 rounds in a year. So it's more realistic, but not super. You have new phase, this festival and New Year. You have this black one as you just paid your mercenaries money. Not you don't need to feed them, but you paid the money. And also this stormy seas. Yes, and in complex mode you have 8 rounds. And this is pretty realistic, and you also have not so many gains as are taxes and feeding theoretically and harvest. You have more to maneuver and more to fight and more to preparing. So in basic mode you gain, you just take money and you just play it quite smooth. But here it's pretty different. Just with this humble start, you could have problem also as an inexperienced player to survive 1 year. So you are in second year better as you was in first year. When you are quite rational human, you can handle it. But in this game, when you have opponents, it's pretty tough to survive this 8 round. When you make some small mistakes or you have not so many luck. Okay, then you have this yeah. So what is here? Different the possibility to play special movement under certain conditions. I have said now. Move to dynamic of the game itself considerably. But most important, starting bonuses. This simple asymmetric little thing completely dismissed the searching for some universal approach against This is multiplied as the number of players increase. So here are starting bonuses for these maps are these. So you see there are 6 fractions. For example, the Germans are each year by New Year's 1 cohort of heavy infantry in Belgium. So they has to place it here in this east southern part, and they need to, without building, they can use this strong cohort to fight against another players. And for example, the Celts have 2 herds of pigs and only 1 herd of sheep. So they have this economic bonus, and so on and so on. And you could play this game in different numbers of players. So when you play it in 2, it's quite different as you play it in 4. So this game experience is this replay of this game is pretty high, and the starting bonuses make it more higher, and so on and so on. And last, complex mode. Last thing. Have you found deep and beauty in the game? Do you want to create different start date, teams, new rule? Great. That was exactly the point of the whole project. One person can never figure out all those aspects. It's only when his creation becomes collective work that can gradually rise to next level of significance. I have also been thinking about how to expand the game even further. Third mode was created and kind of hint of how other elements can be further add to the skeleton of the Scharz. It's not a mode, it's in true sense, but it eventually became one. But please think of its original sense. So I just make this mode additionally, because I want to show how you can make your house rules, and then I just balance this mode, and now you have 3 modes actually. So what does it bring? A third overview board, 8 round. So even fewer revenue rounds and more maneuver rounds. It adds more characteristic to units. So this is these bonuses. The concept of attrition, not only in winter. Climate zones, twice a year weather influence, even for individual region. Additional prestige characteristic as moral of army. So when you accumulate a prestige, so passively, your army moral is higher, and then your army has more bonuses. But you cannot invest your prestige for this special movement and so on. Again, question of what to actively spend and push or save an accumulative passive effect. An additional quality of money as the level of command corps. So you can use now money for not buying more cohorts, but you can also pay better commands. So you have no more dice, but you have this special ability of your cohorts. They fight better, or they move better, and so on. The importance is unquestionable, but it only has an effect when quality command and is combined with quantity army size. But do you have so many resources? Again, another ambition choice on how to play the game right. And finally, the battle board. So this is this level of command. So you have 5 stages. So without command, you have no bonuses. With brilliant commanders, you have you have always this something extra. So you have capacity of reroll, so 1 reroll for free, and here you have free special move. Quite good with your cohort's moral. So it's with how many prestige do you have. You just remove 1 sword from every 1 to 5 cohorts, so your soldiers fight badly. when you have a very high moral, then you have not one shields from your army for 5 cohorts, but for 3 cohorts. And against rival, you don't need to 4 cohorts for one sword, but only 3. And against non-rival, 4 cohorts for one additional sword. And 3 equal cohorts, so not 6 of them, but 3 only, and you have 4 dice. Yeah, just explain the thing. And here is this battleground or battle board. And if you checked these notes, you have actually here Battle of Zama. So it was this Punic War final battle against between Hannibal and Scipio. And here is something like simulation in this system, but yeah, you can play it. But the main thing about it is, I just write it here. Game with a battle board. Game within a game. Actually, a standalone minigame, but the link, the original military, economic, logistic game is the cherry on the top. The culmination of all efforts in one big self-destructive battle that will decide. So let's say in 2-player, you just play this standard game and then you just maneuver to one big battle, something like in Nevsky von Volkoranki, and then you just play this on special board, and you just okay, here by dice, this is statistic, so you can prepare, you can maneuver, but it's statistic. But here you can also decide, and you just could compensate some this your you have not so many cohorts, or so you just can use the specific unit better as normal, and so on and so on. So this is a cherry of the top, but you don't need to play it, so you just could stay a bit by ground game, and you just I hope you like this game and this design and this concept, and you have a lot of enjoy with it. And why I am selling this game now? So this game is in development fast 3 years, and I want after this 3 years make a Kickstarter campaign. And for this Kickstarter I need some reviews, I need some bottom support, because normally now you have to invest a lot of money to graphic, translation, that all of this thing, and you need a great team or a lot of people who cooperate, and in the end you need spend a lot of more money for advertise this game. And I just don't want to make this game with somebody from board game company who say, okay, just use these paper or cardboard stickers, no wooden component, make only one map or so. And I also don't want to pay a lot of money and then say, okay, I need to invest more, or I just lose the opportunity on Kickstarter. So I just make it my own way. The game worked perfectly, and I want to collect good ratings for Board Game Geek, good reviews from YouTubers, and then go to Kickstarter and say, okay, when the people like this, I invest it. And when Kickstarter is good, I invest graphic and this and other languages and so on. But without this support, I just cannot do it myself or alone and quickly and cheaper. So it's always this thing: you have time, you have quality, and you have price, and you cannot achieve all these 3 stuff. and I want to spare my money for now. I want to hold the quality, and time doesn't matter for me. So I just achieve this too. And I hope you support me. And when you support me now, I want to sell this game for 60 euro, and this shipping cost I want to invest myself. So when you like this game, you just pay this 60 euros, or dollars is then another amount, but this cost, what is actually, so price of this game is, yeah, I just produced 150 pieces, so it's not this minimum. So it was not for wood, but for this paper and cardboard. It was not cheapest, but okay, I'm okay with it. And I say it is, also this recommended price in the end is something like I think 100 euro. So this is what you can buy in shop. So with taxes and all this stuff. So it was 50 euro in Spiel Essen, and now is 60 euro, and without shipping cost. And in Kickstarter it would be more, something like 75 or something. And you, as a buyer of this version, can buy only upgrade then. So you can play it now. So you don't need to wait if Kickstarter succeeds, and how long it takes to deliver this game then, and so on and so on. You can play it, and you just buy it upgrade for, I don't know, 20 euros or something, and you receive professional graphic, and so all the stuff, it's different. So I think it's good offer for you. I would like if you follow my channel, because I want to make more videos. I would like when you like this video, when you share this video, when you make some comments, because yeah, it's I need also the help. So when you have some advice how to, or which YouTuber is good for this game, I have to send him email, and then it takes some time, but I have to make some research, and so when you have some advice for me in this situation, just write it in the comment section. And last thing, they are here now, English edition. You can download German edition and Czech edition, and later after Kickstarter I would like to make more languages, but I also could make this I could make it free for someone to translate it or something to Spanish or something. So please look at Board Game Geek. There are, so mainly there are Scharz.com. There you can find not so pretty website, but there is a link for Board Game Geek, Facebook, and so on and so on, and also the eShop. And on Board Game Geek you can find actually part 1, part 2. There is also part 3 site. This part 3 is in development, and it is also this Scharz game for 2 to 12. It's not in sale now, it's only for Kickstarter later, and it includes all these 3 parts actually. So when you buy 3 parts, it's like when you buy this complete edition. But you have to check all these pages, because some rules are only on the whole game and some are only on this part. So sorry for that, but they don't want to double files there, have two double files. Okay, thank you very much. When you are some YouTuber or some human there make this review, just write me an email or Discord message or Messenger message. No big deal. I would like to answer to all people. Thank you for watching, and see you by next video. Bye.